How's everybody today? On East Coast Beat, we save some rock today. Santana, patron saint of Saint Anne Cathedral in Brazil, from which the common surname Santana is said to derive. Carlos Santana was born in Autlán de Navarro, Jalisco, Mexico in 1947. He's a Mexican-American guitarist well known for his fusion of rock and Latin jazz. Rolling Stone magazine lists him as number 20 of the greatest guitarists of all time. And I only mention Rolling Stone magazine to provide a contrast. I know any best of list will always be arbitrary. Carlos Santana's father was a mariachi musician who taught his son violin and guitar. Carlos became a professional musician at a time when there were very few Mexicans in rock or pop. Richie Valens was an influence. Santana spent his teens in San Francisco, keenly aware of the youth movement that was changing the world all around him. The fate smiled on Carlos the day Paul Butterfield was too inebriated to play his gig at the Fillmore. Carlos was called to fill in, and this brought him to the attention of Bill Graham. Fellow street musicians David Brown on bass, Marcus Malone on percussion, Greg Rowley on vocals and keys were recruited to form the Santana Blues Band, a highly original blend of rock, jazz, blues, salsa, and African rhythms. After gaining a following on the LA club circuit, Santana signed with Columbia and shortened the name to just Santana. Mike Shreve was brought in on drums while Mike Carabello and Nicaraguan percussionist Jose Chapito Arias bolstered the line of congas, timbales, cowbells, you name it. Bill Graham arranged for the whole array to travel 3,000 miles to Saugerties, New York to play at a little outdoor show called Woodstock Arts and Musical Festival. In June 1969, the band made such an impact that first album success was a sure thing. When the Woodstock film hit the movie theaters, they were superstars. The lengthy Soul Sacrifice piece showcased the band's individual talents, especially the tasteful drum solo by teenager Mike Shreve. In LA, they were rushed into the studio to cook up an album. Bill Graham suggested they include the song Evil Ways with a non-Latino vocalist as a way to ensure a presence on the airwaves. Pretty slick. The first album was a hit and went to number 4 in the US. Album status was then elevated even more with the distinctive black and white lion design on the sleeve. For the next album, to be titled Braxis, Carlos wanted to transform himself into a jazz artist, but Graham convinced him that his best bet was now fusion. Chapito Arias, unfortunately, suffered a brain hemorrhage. He had an operation and a long time of lessons. So integral was he to the band's sound that they did not want to play without him. Alas, the show must go on, and Abraxas was released in 1970 with Oye Como Va and Peter Green's Black Magic Woman catapulted the album to number 1. The sleeve art, this time in living color with a complex collage of Latin and African illustration, mind manifesting just as much as the music. Unknown guitarist Neil Schon joined the band in 1971. This made for dueling lead guitars, cutting out overdubs to make live shows sound closer to the studio work. The recuperated Chapito Arias returned, and the Tower of Power horn section was poured into the mix. Santana 3 went to #1 with the singer, no one to depend on. This time, Mike Carabello and Dave Brown left the band due to narcotics abuse. Remaining members assembled in Hawaii, and Buddy Miles' band opened, and Miles guested at the drum throne when Santana played. The next album, titled Caravanserai, would be more jazz than rock, and this is among my favorite albums of all time. Santana was now becoming a showcase for Carlos. After the album's release, Rolly and Sean left to form the band Journey. Even though Caravanserai was brilliant, the lack of a single hurt the band's top 40 status. Carlos toured on a bill with John McLaughlin's Mahavishnu Orchestra. John introduced Carlos to Sri Chinmoy, a Hindu guru, who took Carlos under his tutelage. John's next album, Love, Devotion, and Surrender, with members of both bands, received no support or sales. In 1974, ex-Miles Davis band Sidemen were recruited. Bill Graham's management team took over the business interests of the band. Graham suggested a streetwise, edgy sound to get back on the charts. This approach did not immediately improve the album sales, but would eventually achieve a major comeback. In 1980, Carlos played with Herbie Hancock and Tony Williams. Carlos was also asked to do the film score to the movie La Bamba about the life and music of Richie Valens. Carlos continued to play with notables Coy Tyner, Weather Report, John Lee Hooker, and even living color guitarist Vernon Reid, and the Grateful Dead drummer Mickey Hart. Carlos left Columbia and signed with Polygram. In 1999, Santana's single Smooth went to #1, and the music video was also very popular. The album Supernatural won 8 Grammys and sold 15 million copies in the U.S. alone. On a night in 1998, Peter Green, who had resurfaced as a blues player, performed his single Black Magic Woman with Carlos at Santana's induction to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Now, incidentally, I was once in a trio calling ourselves the Classics around the turn of the century. Greg was our lead guitar, but he also played bass, so I was able to switch off with him depending on what songs we did. And Greg loved Santana. He wanted to play several of their songs, including Smooth. To accomplish this, I had to learn bass lines that were quite different than the bass lines I played for Beatles songs, which Greg also loved. The bass for these Latin songs were intricate, but they were not blues-based and fast. Smooth wore me out, as did Oye Como Va, Summa Petit, but not Soul Sacrifice. He didn't want to play that one. Once I developed the chops to do it, I started having great fun with these gymnastic bass parts, so heady compared to my old 1-4-5 octave jumping, E-string drones, and more importantly, I developed an interest in world music. Now, there's so much music on our little planet. Now, here's a quick list of the albums of Santana. In 69, the Santana album, The One with the Lion. 70, Abraxas. 73, Santana 3. 72, Caravanserai. 73, also Welcome. 74, Borboleta. 76, Amigos. 77, Festival. 77, Moonflower. 78 Inner Secrets, 79 Marathon, 81 Zebot, 82 Shango, and 85 Beyond Appearances, 87 Freedom, 90 Spirits Dancing in the Flesh, 92 Milagro, 99 Supernatural, 02 Shaman, 05 All That I Am, 2010 Guitar Heaven, 2012 Shapeshifter, 2014 Corazon, 2016 Santana 4, and most recently in 2019 Africa Speaks. 31 live albums besides these, live and compilation albums. Now, Santana never really changed his style very much, but he didn't really want to be just a rock guitarist. He wanted to be a jazz musician, and his label didn't really think that jazz would sell, and that unfortunately is true. But after a while, after so many hits, I think that Santana could possibly do exactly what they wanted, playing for a specific audience rather than a wide audience. Perhaps there were less album sales, but this man, Carlos Santana, has had tremendous success and respect amongst his musical peers. If you like jazz, or if you like prog music like I do, I really recommend going and hearing some of his albums. See for yourself what all the fuss is about. Thanks for being with me. Remember, if you're subscribed to YouTube, hit like. It'll help me out a lot. Hit the bell if you want to hear about new videos I'm putting out. See you next time. Oye, como va?